Hiya, welcome to Darren in the Studio. Thanks for stopping by and joining me for another video. This video is going to be, I'm a little bit late actually with this video. I wanted to do this yesterday as it was the 30th of April yesterday, and today of course is the 1st of May 2024. So this video is going to be our April 2024 roundups, the things that I've bought, acquired, and I thought at the beginning of the month, I thought it was going to be a really dry month for music, buying music. I hadn't really ordered anything, and you know, finances, you know, the way things are at the moment, it's difficult, isn't it? 1 month, you know, we do gigs and you know, we're able to, I'm able to spend a little bit more. So what I've done is, what happened was, I ended up going to a couple of charity shop places and just absolutely dropping on big style. And most of the charity shop places that I went to were just sort of totally off the cuff. I was kind of driving by, thought, yeah, I'll swing in and have a look. And boy, did I come good. This could be my best haul, I think, of certainly since I've started doing these videos. There's a lot more than 10 albums here. Most of it's all second-hand, of course. It's all charity shop stuff and things like that. And there's some stuff in here that I've wanted for just ever and ever and ever. So I've really done well this last month. So here's April 2024, the rundown of the stuff that I've acquired. It's all in alphabetical order as always, and we've managed to sort of bag a few things where, I think I said this on my last video, you know, you look for stuff and then like a bus, you know, you wait forever and then two of them come along. I'm going to start off with the Beautiful South. Now, I've spoke about the Beautiful South before on this channel. I am quite a big fan of Paul Heaton's writing. I think he's an incredible songwriter, quite a dark songwriter. You know, a lot of the Beautiful stuff is very, on the surface, it's very sort of catchy and pleasant and stuff like that. But actually, when you get down to the lyrics, there's a lot of dark stuff going on, and you'll see what I mean when if you haven't checked out the Beautiful South, you must check them out. This is the album Meow, and I love the artwork on this album. You see the dogs all listening to the gramophone record, and they're all, I don't know whether they all be sort of Yorkshire Terriers, Jack Russells or whatever, but in amongst them there's an Alsatian just here, and a pug dog, I think, just there. But it's a really, really great album, this. And like I said, a lot of Beautiful South stuff is very sort of dark, about very almost sad sort of situations. A lot of sort of breakup songs and life stuff. Meow. This is on the Go Discs label. This is an original 1994 Go Discs CD. Nice little picture disc CD there. Booklet in absolute A1 condition. This cost me £1. Whenever I see the Beautiful South stuff, if I've not got it, I pick it up. And I think, if I'm honest, I've pretty much got all the albums now. I think I have. Beautiful South, Meow, £1. Before we go any further, I must apologise for my extensive grey locks. I haven't dyed my hair for a few weeks. I was sort of letting it go a little bit, and so you'll have to put up with me looking like Cruella de Vil. I do apologise. Next up, the Byrds. Haven't got any of the Byrds apart from on compilation albums, songs like Mr. Tambourine Man and Turn Turn Turn. This is another CD. I picked this up at a charity shop. This is The Best of the Byrds. This was £1. I've had to swap out the sleeve, the case, because the case was kind of trashed a little bit. But I must apologise. Oh, I thought I was upside down. I must apologise for this light. It's a little bit bright in here, isn't it? I might have to maybe turn the light off. Hang on a minute. I'll just pause this and turn the light off. I think that's better. What do you think? You can certainly see the CDs a little bit better. The Best of the Byrds. This is a 24-track album. Again, in absolute A1 condition, mint condition. Really nice CD. This nice booklet as well. Gives you the sort of the history of the band and things that I didn't know about the Byrds, to be fair. Best of the Byrds. That was £1. I'm rifling through these because there's a lot of them. Here's an interesting little CD. I need to clean up the sleeve a little bit. Double album of Glen Campbell. Apparently this came out in about 2005, I think. Something like that. 2006, I think it says on it. Double album. This is called Reflections. Glen Campbell Reflections. Disc 1. If you know, let me just put this out there. If you know anything about this album and the recordings, please do let me know. This is Reflections. It's a 2 CD set. Disc 1 is all live stuff. But they're really, really good performances and really great recordings as well. But the little snag is it doesn't tell you when the recordings were actually made, which is a real pain in the bum for someone like me who likes to sort of well, for one reason, I like to put them on my radio shows as well, and I always like to give the year that stuff was put out. So that's a little bit annoying. There's no sort of other information about the songs on here at all. So if you know anything about this double CD, let me know. It's out on the, I think it's on the Reflections label. Anyway, disc 2 are re-recordings of some of his work. For example, Rhinestone Cowboy, By the Time I Get to Phoenix, which is one of my favourites. They are re-recorded versions of the originals, but they're not really sloppy, sort of cheap sounding re-recordings. They're actually really great recordings. He actually must have took some time to go back into the studio later on in his career and re-record some of his earlier stuff. But again, it doesn't tell you when they were re-recorded, which is really annoying. And I've looked on Discogs, I've looked online, or anything like that, all that kind of stuff. I just can't find any information at all. The only saving grace is that the CDs are text CDs, and the little, some of them have just got codes. None of them have the track titles. Some of them have just got like a code, like a number. It's not the year. But some of them will say something like 1995, which makes me think, does that mean 1995? I don't know. It could do. Glen Campbell Reflections. Great CD, but a little bit annoying. This was free, by the way. The lady in the shop gave it me for free. Next up, here's an album. This is another one that was free. Same time as that one. This is a classic album. And it's got one of my favourite songs on it. And when you see this, you're going to go, oh yeah, that was a bargain for nothing. Peter Gabriel's third album. This is also known as Melt, but actually the album's called 3. This is a nice little Virgin reissue, 2000 something or other. Now that I've turned the light off, I can't see anything. Peter Gabriel's second album, really great condition. There's no disc in it because I'm playing a song on my radio show this next week. So the CD's up there ready for playing on the radio. But really nice condition throughout. And Peter Gabriel's second album, favourite song on here, Games Without Frontiers. This is 1980. What a great album. And this is one of those albums, I had it on in the car at first, and then I realised, hang on a minute, this is one of those albums that I really need to listen to, and I've played it through a few times now and I love it. Peter Gabriel. That was free. Nothing. Next, another freebie. I bought these, the three of the Glen Campbell. I say I bought them. I didn't buy them at all. Glen Campbell, Peter Gabriel, and this one. This was also free. Last month, I picked up 2 Meatloaf albums, a couple of best ofs, and here's another best of. But this was like the definitive best of. This came out on the Virgin label. This is the best of Meatloaf, double album, absolute classics on here. I might put a new case on this because it's got a little crack on it and there's no hype sticker or anything like that. So I might put a new case on it because apart from the case, everything else is absolutely mint condition. Double album. I think it's about 18 tracks on here. Yeah, 18 tracks from, of course, all of his albums. And all his albums, like I just showed you, are all sort of pictured there. Some great tracks on here. And again, the songs on here that I haven't got. I haven't got a lot of Meatloaf albums. Nice to get this, though. A double album for nothing. What do you want for nothing? Here's an artist which I've picked up a couple of these last few weeks. This is another classic album. This is as classic as the Peter Gabriel one. This is Moondance from Van Morrison, 1971, I think, something like that. This is a nice little original CD copy on the Warner's label. Again, absolute mint condition, beautiful condition. I think this was £2, to be fair. This was in one of the charity shops in town. Of course, a lot of classics on here, including Moondance. But this is one of those albums which most serious music lovers would have in their collection, you know. Next, another Van Morrison album. A little bit later on. There's no CD in this because this is the album that I'm listening to in the car at the moment. This is his Days Like This album. This cost me £1. And this is from 1995. This is on the Exile Polydor label. Again, the case is a little bit scratched and a little bit tatty, but the actual booklet and the rest of it is in absolute mint condition. Again, I might swap the case with this. Days Like This, Van Morrison, £1. Next, here's an artist that I didn't even realise that he had a second album, but I think it was his first album. I might be wrong. This is a guy called Jimmy Nail. Those of you overseas won't really know much about Jimmy Nail unless you've seen Auf Wiedersehen Pet. He was an actor as much as he was a singer. This is his 1999 album. This is Tadpoles in a Jar. I really love his Crocodile Shoes album. I think it's superb. And he writes all the songs on here. And some of the songs on here are just so quirky, really, really great. If you ever see this in a charity shop, pick it up, take it home, and listen to it properly, without any sort of... Because everyone sort of thinks, oh, Jimmy Nail, you know, he's more of an actor than he is a singer and all that kind of stuff. But actually, he's not got a bad pair of lungs as well. Jimmy Nail, Tadpoles in a Jar. Nice little album, this, honest. Really, really good. There's a picture of him there. You might recognise him. Next up, another classic album. Got this on vinyl, and my vinyl copy is actually a second-hand copy as well. But I saw this in the charity shop the other day. Again, the case is a little bit tatty, but I'm sure it'll look great when I put a new case on it. This is Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield. I really dropped on with all these CDs. It was just I went into a particular store and there was just like loads of all these great albums. Tubular Bells, Mike Oldfield. This would be the first album that was ever issued on the Virgin label. This is a nice little... I think this is probably going to be an original CD release of it when it came out on CD. See the original sort of CD styling all there. Mike Oldfield, Tubular Bells. What more can you say? What a great album. That was £1. Also, this was 25p. And I think I bought 3 at the time. And she said, oh, it's 25p each. So I just gave them £3. Here's an album that I used to have on cassette. And I bought it on cassette when it first came out. And on a budget label, on the Pickwick label, which here in the UK was like a K-Tel kind of setup, Ronco. They used to put out, you know, like Pickwick and Hallmark and labels like that. They used to put out budget releases, and this is one of them. This is Roy Orbison. It's called The Hits. Like I said, I used to have this on cassette. Sadly, a lot of my cassettes were stolen. But I love this album. This is a really nice album. It's got Only the Lonely on it and Candyman, but also it's got things like The Great Pretender, Blue Avenue, In Dreams, Bye Bye Love, Working for the Man. A really nice selection of some of Roy's work over the years. This is going to be what, late 80s, possibly early 90s, I don't know. Really nice collection, like I say, on the Pickwick label. Really chuffed to get this, because it's like an old friend coming back, even though it's come back in a reincarnated CD version. Roy Orbison. This, she wanted 25p, but I gave her £1. Here's a good one. Here's a classic best of album. This, I think, is the best-selling best of all time. Certainly one of Elvis Presley's greatest albums. Even got the original sort of 3 for 2 hype sticker that the store would have had, and a nice little hype sticker here at the bottom, which is starting to go a little bit. It says Elvis' biggest selling album of all time. I was right. Featuring 9 #1 hits plus 4 bonus tracks. Elvis's Golden Records. Nice little hype sticker here as well. This is in, again, this is in absolute mint condition. I think that's an advert. Yeah, because it's even got the sort of card that came with a lot of these sort of BMG things. There's an advert here for a 50s CD collection. But here's Elvis's Golden Records on the CD. Really nice disc. Look at the disc, it's beautiful. Made to look like a 45. Really nice. Really nice. Original artwork there on the inside. This was £1. Elvis's Golden Records. Next up, an album which I've already got on CD, and I saw this in the charity shop. This was one of the 25p ones, and I gave her £1. I just couldn't leave it in the store, even though I've already got it on CD. I've got 2 of them now on CD. This is 40 Licks by the Rolling Stones. Now, my CD copy, which is back here somewhere, is a little bit tatty, and I'll tell you why. I used to do a bit of mobile DJing, and I used to take this album out and sort of play tracks from it and stuff like that, and the discs got really sort of scratched and the cover got absolutely trashed. So it was nice to pick up a nice clean copy for like next to nothing at all. Double album, 40 licks. Really, really good collection of Rolling Stone songs. Another priced at 25p, and she got £1. Next up, here's one I haven't heard yet, and this I bought the other day again with in amongst a lot of really good stuff. This is Paul Simon. There Goes Rhythm Simon. I understand that this is a 70s album. 1973, I think that says. Again, beautiful CD, absolutely mint condition. I'm not showing you any of the booklets because I've not really got time. I don't want to spend all your time with me, dear. There Goes Rhythm Simon, Paul Simon. Nice sort of CD. Don't know how many tracks are on it or what's on it. It's quite difficult to see on the back there what's what's on it, but I'm really looking forward to listening to this, because a lot of everything that Paul Simon, that I've heard anyway, having sort of bought secondhand stuff and things like that, a lot of also bought some, you know, the Simon & Garfunkel albums. They were always really great, really well produced. You know, they always had really good sort of intimate sort of sound on the microphone and stuff like that. Looking forward to listening to this. Next up here is a couple of albums. I'll show you these together because they belong together. Couple of albums that, going back to my cassette story, I used to have on cassette, but they got stolen. But before they got nicked, I put them onto mini disc because I loved them so much and I wanted to sort of play them all the time. And I always said, if I see these on CD somewhere, I'm having them regardless of the price. And I've never really seen them, to be fair, or not really been looking for them. But there they were for £1 each in the charity shop, and they're in absolute mint condition. These are the 2 albums by Bruce Springsteen, Lucky Town and Human Touch. Now, some people don't like these albums, and I don't know why, because I think they're absolutely superb. I think they got some great songs on them. And like I said, used to have them on cassette, and unfortunately a lot of my cassettes got stolen, and I now have them on CD. And what's great about these is they still got the original sort of Columbia stickers of authenticity. Columbia, Sony. This one's just starting to come off a little bit. Hopefully it'll stay on. Human Touch and Lucky Town. Bruce Springsteen. Really chuffed about that. £2 for them. You can't go wrong. Next up, another classic album, possibly I'm thinking from the 90s. Not much you can really say about this, apart from it's a great album. It's Paul Weller's Stanley Road. This was £1, people. £1 in a local charity shop. What can you say? Absolute mint condition. Really, really looking forward to hearing this. I haven't played this one yet, but I know it's a great album. It's got some great songs. Changing Man is on here. I mean, what can you say? Broken Stones is on here as well. That's one of my favourite. Stanley Road by Paul Weller. What an album. £1. I should rename this channel the Charity Shop channel. I really should. Here's an album which, of all the albums that I've shown you, is possibly the most famous. And there it was, sitting in a charity shop, all alone, sad, unwanted, and it's a great album. And I can see why people really rave about this album, because I'd never heard it before I got the album itself. But I'd heard the singles off it, but I'd never actually heard the album itself. This is U2's 1988 album, Rattle and Hum. I didn't even know that it was sort of half live, half studio, and this has got some big hits on it. Desire's on here. There's a great live version of Pride in the Name of Love, which is my favourite U2 song. U2's 88 album, Rattle and Hum, on CD, probably an original release, on the Island label, I think. Yep. Look, absolute mint condition for £1. We're getting to the end, folks. I've already spent nearly 25 minutes of your time. Here's an album again I'm going to show you together, because I ordered this on CD because I thought the vinyl was a little bit expensive, and they sent me both the CD and the album, and I don't know why, because genuinely I've looked through my records and I only purchased the CD. This is When Rivers Meet. This is their latest album. This is called Breaker of Trains Tour Live. Recorded last year on that particular tour. When Rivers Meet are one of my favourite bands at the minute. They really are. Aaron what's her, Aaron, I forgot her name now. Oh dear. Aaron and, oh, I'm going to have to find out, aren't I? I can't just leave it at that. Her name is Grace, of course it is. Sorry, Grace, if you're watching. When Rivers Meet, this is the CD version, signed. Got a booklet in here. But this is the vinyl version. And When Rivers Meet, their vinyls are absolutely beautiful. They do sort of really nice splatter versions and stuff like that. And the other LPs that I've got of theirs are all on the splatter. This is just on standard black vinyl, which is, I think, is the more rare thing now. Everything's on coloured, isn't it? You get black vinyl, and that seems to be the rarest. Again, this is signed by both Grace and Aaron. Really nice sort of open up sleeve showing you the band in concert. I was hoping to go and see these at the Rescue Rooms in Nottingham on the 10th of May. I don't think I'm going to get to go, to be fair, but I'm definitely going to have to check these out live. I love this album. If you ever get a chance, please, please, please check out When Rivers Meet. They are great. Blues, rock, really, really good. I mean, the musicianship is second to none. They really are superb. Great band behind them. Really good stuff. When Rivers Meet. Latest album, Breaker of Chains Tour Live. Check it out. This recently went into the top 40 albums in the UK. And it's independent as well. They're not signed to a record label as such, you know, and, you know, all the distribution is taken care of by themselves and all that kind of stuff. Great stuff. Last album for you. And I've left this to the end because it's a compilation. I don't think I've shown a compilation yet. The sleeve needs changing, but CD-wise, it's absolutely superb. This is a great little collection. This is called Dark Side of the 80s, the very best of alternative rock, goth, and indie guitar. This is on the BMG Telstar label. Double album. 40 tracks. Tells you when all the tracks were released as well, which is great. A lot of this stuff will be going on the playlist if it isn't already. Dark Side of the 80s, again, pick this up in a charity shop for £1. Really, really good stuff. That is it. You'll be thankful to know. You'll be going, that was a marathon one, Darren. You took us to nearly half an hour. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Again, make sure you leave your views and your comments. I love hearing from you. I really do. And take care of yourselves. If you've not subscribed, if you like what you see on these videos and you haven't subscribed, then do so. We'd love you to get on board. Like the video. That always helps the channel along. And we'll see you again for another video here in the studio very, very soon. Thanks for swinging by. Ta-da.